Chapter 4 To India. Early in January 1929, Agnes arrived in India, in the city of Madras, now called Chennai. The port city of Madras had so many different colors, sights, and smells that Agnes had never experienced before. But it also had many poor people who made Agnes's heart ache. She saw one family gathered around a relative who had died in the street. Other families who slept outside on mats made from palm leaves. Still others who didn't even have that, but simply slept on the bare ground. Agnes sailed up the Indian coast to Calcutta, now called Kolkata, for the first time on January 6, 1929. After 10 days in Calcutta, Agnes took her first train ride to Darjeeling. The town of Darjeeling is famous around the world for growing the tea of the same name. It is located high above sea level. The average elevation is more than 1 mile, so the weather is much cooler than in many parts of India. It has many beautiful plants, flowers, and animals, but Agnes wasn't there for the scenery. She was in Darjeeling to continue preparing to become a nun. At the Oriental convent in Darjeeling, Agnes studied English, Bengali, and Hindi for 2 years, while also teaching children at the convent school. While Hindi was the official language of India, Bengali was spoken in Calcutta. Her father's ability to speak many languages must have rubbed off on Agnes, because she learned them all quickly. She spoke excellent English, though with a heavy European accent, and also talked easily with many people in India. On May 24, 1931, Agnes took her first vows as a nun. Now she became Sister Teresa. She took the name Teresa after a French saint who was only 24 when she died in 1897. Sister Teresa had much in common with Saint Teresa. She had been called Flower Bud, and Saint Teresa was known as the Little Flower. They were both known for their simplicity and practicality. And Saint Teresa, who had been a nun, was a patron saint of missionaries, an inspiration to Sister Teresa. Agnes spelled her name the Spanish way, Teresa, because there already was a sister, Mary Teresa, at Loreto. The school children started calling Sister Teresa Bengali Teresa, since she spoke their language so well. Not long after taking her vows, Sister Teresa went back to Calcutta. She began teaching the girls at St. Mary's. The school was located within the high white walls that separated the Loreto convent from the bustling city outside. For much of the next 17 years, Sister Teresa's daily routine was the same. She was up at 5:30 in the morning for some quiet time before Mass at 6 a.m. Then came prayer time, breakfast, and school. After school, there was office work, afternoon tea, and correcting papers. Then dinner, evening prayers, and bedtime. Religious vows. A Roman Catholic nun publicly vows or pledges her commitment to the Church. She promises to observe poverty, chastity, and obedience as part of her calling to serve God. The vow of poverty means the nun will not own things. She will live in a community of other nuns and share food and possessions. The vow of chastity means she will not enter a romantic relationship and will never marry. The vow of obedience means she will obey her leaders in the church. After her vows, a nun wears a ring on her right ring finger to symbolize that she is married to the church. In some orders, like Mother Teresa's Loreto order, the vows are taken again after several years and are considered final vows. Sister Teresa took her final vows in 1937. In 1944, the Mother Superior at St. Mary's became ill. Sister Teresa was hardworking and organized, and she knew how the school functioned. Due to her long service there, so she took over the Mother Superior's duties, and she would be known as Mother Teresa for the rest of her life. Mother Teresa found comfort in the discipline of her routine and joy in teaching the students. I loved teaching, Mother Teresa said, and in Loreto, I was the happiest nun in the world.